Yeah.
Awesome. Good morning and welcome to the BAM Blog Breakdown, where Brian Kaiser, Aaron Zambrano, and I break down expert business blogs so that you can better understand the information to apply it to your business or life for real results. And we all want real results. We have a great episode for you today, and really cool new, better way to follow up. Now, I've not tried this. We just read the blog this week, and I'm going to start implementing this in my business. I'm really excited to cover this. Before we get started getting into this, we encourage you to get over to our YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you're probably on the YouTube channel now, and give us a subscribe down here in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. There should be a subscribe button. Hit that. Give us a like. If you like the stuff that you're listening to from BAM and from us, please share it with your friends, family, other business owners that you might know that would benefit from this. Thank you to Evernote for keeping us organized and making it possible for us to easily collaborate. They do a great job on their software program. So I am Mike Calderwood, your humble co-host today, and I'm here with my BAM partners, Brian and Aaron Zambrano. Aaron, how are you doing today?
Fantastic and wonderful, as always.
Fantastic and wonderful, as always. Brian, how about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. I have fun each and every time we get on BAM, and just looking forward to another great show.
Awesome. So we're just before the show talking about this post and how difficult it was to kind of break down, right? I had difficulty doing a summary. Aaron kind of had some difficulty. But the key here is, and the reason why I picked this blog is because I think this is one of the coolest things in the world that I've seen for follow-up. But the real reason why I picked it is because I understand the importance of follow-up in different areas of business, life, and everything else, right? And follow-up in sales or marketing or business is often an overlooked tool. And when people are struggling with sales numbers and things like that, one of the areas I often find that they're lacking in is follow-up. So when I saw this from Jeff Shore of Jeff Shore Consulting on his blog, I was like, this is really flipping cool, right? So, but we all know follow-up's important. We all know there's a lot of resistance to follow-up. Guys, why do you think there's so much resistance to follow-up?
I think a lot of people don't realize that they need it. I think that's really the biggest thing. I was working with a guy the other day. This is the funniest thing. He's never done a fitness competition before, ever in his life. And, we set up a plan, and every 2 weeks we change it because he's getting really, really close to a show. And he looks better than he's ever looked in his life. And he knows that. And he's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to do a follow-up. I'm okay. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Like, we have to see what's really going on. And I don't want to just say, okay, you're good. I need to see hardcore measurements of what's going on with your body. Are you losing muscle? Are you losing fat? Are you getting the things that you need? Yeah. So I think a lot of people just don't realize how important it really is to have it.
And so your point is follow-up happens in a lot of different areas, not just sales, not just marketing. You're going to follow up to check results. A doctor is going to follow up with a client to give test results, right? Mm-hmm. So different things like that. Brian, why so much resistance to follow up? We got Aaron's answer.
Yeah, my thought on and opinion on it is fear. Yeah. Because I think you meet with the client, and the client is really excited and everything. They're making a decision. Maybe they buy, maybe they don't buy. But now once you have to re-engage them, then it's will they say no? Will I get rejected? Uh-huh. And I think, we've talked about some other blogs about how you make decisions. Well, that decision to go ahead and follow up is that you've already decided in your mind that client's going with you and you're going to be able to help them do this and that. So even if they get on the phone, they say, well, I'm still not sure. I'm still thinking about it. Then you know exactly what you're going to do to coerce that situation and get them to go ahead and take action one way or the other. But leaving it hanging, which is a lot of times what salespeople are getting known for, is they give the slick presentation and then they're gone. If you didn't buy right then they're gone. Yep. And then they give us all a bad reputation because all of us are out selling.
They're not going to buy on Thursday. They're not going to buy on Monday.
Yeah, okay. But, everyone forgets we're all in sales. It doesn't matter what business you do. We're all in sales. Even if you're an engineer, you have to sell your ability to do the project and make sure that you sold the people of the project that your calculations, your measurements, everything that you put into that project are correct. Yeah. So there's always selling. But the following up to that is the important piece. And most people just sit back and like, if it happens, it's going to happen.
So we know that follow-up's important. We know that there's some resistance to follow-up. So you think that people would like a new, better, easier, and effective way to follow up and be memorable?
Oh, I think so.
I think so, right?
I think so.
And that's what we have. Jeff
wrote
a great blog. Get over to jeffshore.com, click on blog, check out this article. But we do have a new, better way. And what he basically does here is he starts off talking about his birthday last year. And there was only 2 things he remembered. Getting a card from his aunt or mother-in-law, I think it was, right? Because it had a check in it. But a buddy of his sent him a very memorable birthday video, right? And that's what we're going to talk about here is using video in following up in a creative, memorable way. And for me, that's what stood out the most to me. I started to think about my last birthday, which was only, it was less than a year ago. Sorry. Anyhow, and I don't remember a lot of what of the little details. I remember what I got from
getting older.
Yeah, I had trouble with the math. I was like,
trying to figure this out,
So,
but that coffee.
But what do we remember from our last birthday, right? If somebody did something completely out of the ordinary, if somebody did something completely memorable, that would stand out to you, right? So if you think about sales, if you think about fitness, if you think about working with a coach of any kind, if you think about you and your business today, and the different things that go on, business to business relationships that you have, there's a lot of the norm. There's a lot of canned emails out there, and Jeff talks about this in this blog. There's a lot of canned emails. There's a lot of unpersonalized, not really thought out approaches to follow up. And this
scripted phone calls.
Scripted phone calls. This is just a fantastic way to personalize the follow-up process. Awesome. So the birthday message stood out to me. What stood out to you?
I think it's just the fact of being different, and he, doing a follow-up with video, that's extremely different. Yeah. I mean, usually I've thought of everything, but I haven't. But I didn't think of this.
Something else.
When I read that, do follow-ups with videos, I was just like, wow, that's really neat. That's a really neat thing. So it's just more being different it really sets you apart. Yeah.
You know what? The big, jump off the page, grab me by the face and go, duh moment was, this is an authentic follow-up. Mm-hmm. This is authentic. It's you. It's not something, you can't script it.
Can't have your secretary.
You can't have the secretary do it. It's not going to be in your CRM where, you're walking out the office and on your cell phone, you push the button and it sends them the canned email or the pre-recorded audio piece or whatever. This is something you do personally, and you say it comes right out of your mouth. You can't, I guess you could script it out, but if you do that, it's going to come across that way because it's video. And anytime you do video like that, it kind of screws it up. But it's authentic. Yeah. And that's what I think a lot of people miss is having some kind of, in today's society with our automated everything, is a little bit of authenticity. If a person just being able to say, hey, you know what? I'm here. I met with you 5 minutes ago, and it was a great meeting, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the 30 minutes you spent with me and letting me share with you what I do and how I can help you in your business or help you with your health and fitness. And I just want to say thank you. And, hey, have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Boom. It's not anything long. It's not anything that's crazy, but it's that little bit of gratitude that you showed them personally that it just jumped out in the blog. It just went.
A personalized follow-up. There's a lot of different ways we can use it. Go out and grab coffee with an old friend and shoot them a follow-up afterwards. Hey, had a really good time. Loved reconnecting. So glad you're doing well. Right? A personalized follow-up, whether it be video or whatever, matters. Mm-hmm. It shows up in all different areas of life, not just business, not just health and wellness, but having that coffee with a friend, visiting a relative that you haven't seen in 10 years and you leave after staying at their house. A follow-up letter, a follow-up email, right? Whatever it might be. So, Aaron, the iFit model perspective, how's follow-up playing a role? Let's talk.
Well, I had everything that I do, most of the blogs that we read, it's always a parallel to fitness and what you experience. But this time, it's like it's not necessarily a parallel. But I think what I got out of it, like I said in the beginning, was just being different, doing something to differentiate yourself. And I think just the fact that you're doing a follow-up period is really different than what most fitness professionals are doing. Brian, you know this, and I think we talked about it off the air, but a lot of times when a trainer writes a program for a client, they write the program for them, and then they're basically just crossing their fingers and hoping it works because that's just how they do it. Or a lot of times when a nutritionist who's not very experienced, they'll write a nutrition program for somebody, and trainers do this all the time that aren't experienced in nutrition. They'll write a nutrition program for somebody and then never follow up with them. And the follow-up process, I think just the fact of doing a follow-up process, that is the key. That is huge in tracking somebody's progress because you got to see how their body is changing. You got to see if their body's changing, but also you got to see if their goals have even changed. There's so many people who they go through a 3-month process and then they realize, you know what? I'm good. I don't really want to change anymore. I like where I am and my goals have changed now. Instead of trying to be, on the cover of a magazine, I just want to live a normal everyday life and be happy with it, And so you're not going to be able to understand that and know that unless you do those follow-ups. And you have to know those things when you're working with your client. And I think from what I wanted to do was more teach the clients and teach the people that are out there that are working with the professional to make sure that if they're in a program, make sure that there's follow-ups in there. You have to have a good program that has follow-ups within that plan, because if not, how effective is that program really going to be? So that's really, to me, that was the lesson learned on what I can give to other people is if they decide to work with a professional, make sure that those follow-ups are an essential part and actually part of the program.
Wow. No, I think that's good. We're done.
Let's
grab some 3 keys from Brian here. 3 keys to the blog.
Yeah, the 3 keys. I'm gonna take a little different approach. I have some notes, but I'm gonna take a little different approach, and it's kind of a little play off of what Aaron said, but it's what we all need in our business, and it's something that as business coaches, you and I do this often, and Aaron, you do this the same way with the athletes. What is the end result that you're looking for, and why would you do the follow-up? The end result you're looking for from following up with a client is to get them to convert to a client, get them to progress, and get referrals. The biggest reason and end result that you should have in your mind for following up, put the fear of they're going to say no, forget about that. Even if they say no, they probably still, if you did a good job in being authentic with them and you're following up and you're building a relationship with them, they probably have 3 to 5 people that they can refer that your product service might fit those people better, even though it didn't fit their need right now. It didn't solve a pain for them right now. And as the 3 keys, it's like, go with your end result. What is the end result of your follow-up? Put your process in line with what you're trying to get. The ultimate thing that you want is referrals. I mean, if you get a client and that client wins a show and all that, how many referrals do you get out of that?
That's my whole business.
That's the whole business. You coach a client and they go from, stuck, can't get their cold market to turn warm. Now they have a warm market. Everyone's coming in the door. How many people do they refer to you? Yep. So it happens the same with me. So what is the end result we want? Key number 1, think about your end result and then put it in context of what you want. The other thing is, with what we learned from the blog here, don't fear technology. Okay, the video stuff, like what we do here on BAM, the video stuff isn't that hard. We don't have massive amounts of equipment.
We did have a 45-minute struggle this morning with the audio, but the video stuff was easy.
The video stuff was easy. But what I'm saying, though, is there's a lot of stuff, and we talked about it off air with how we can better use some of the technologies and the apps out there. Don't fear that. Okay, embrace it, because the video stuff is here to stay. In fact, if you got it on the watch now, where people are doing FaceTime through their watch. Yeah. Okay, it really is. That is the future, and people like that better. The email was a great thing, and it's gone. It'll still be out there. But when you really want to engage with somebody, don't fear the technology. Go ahead and embrace it, and then keep learning it. Because the more you learn it and you're comfortable with it, then the more authentic you come off on video or even on audio things, because you can hear the BAM on Spreaker, and we do this for an audio cast too. the more you come off authentic, the more people like that, and the more they'll apply what you're telling them, and because it's real, it's you. So, like I said, start with the end results. Don't fear that, and then practice it. Like, just put it as part of your routine.
We talk about practice a lot. If we're gonna get good at stuff, we gotta practice it.
If someone finds another way, if you could put it in the notes there below, how you can get great at something and master it without ever doing it. I know we've run across a few people in our path that think that they've mastered whatever it is and they haven't ever done it. But needless to say, if you're going to be a master of what you're doing, you're going to have to practice it. And the only way is to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. So that's the 3 keys.
So let's bring this to application. Mike called it Coaching Advantage application. When it comes to follow-up, whether you're using video or anything else, first thing, take good notes. When you're engaged with a client, when you're engaged with a business-to-business partner, a referral partner, if you're engaged with a brand new one-on-one that you're having with somebody from one of your networks or something like that, take good notes. That will make your follow-up personalized and authentic. But look, let's say you and I just met, we're doing one-on-one, and we talked for an hour over coffee that you paid for. And just kidding. And we talked, we asked each other.
I probably got questions. It for free because I flirted with the barista.
That's why I hang out with this guy right now.
Yeah, see, there's reasons why we all.
And bringing the property value of us up. Okay, so. But we said we talked for 60 minutes, whatever, and we learned about each other's family a little bit, our backgrounds, what we're doing, what our goals are, our aspirations. And then I follow up with, hey, man, it was nice having coffee with you.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah. Right? But I really enjoyed learning about your family.
Of course, Aaron's sitting there going, yeah, the coffee that I flirted with, you didn't really contribute anything to it, but hey, I'm glad you're thankful.
But if I personalize the follow-up with things that we actually talked about, maybe a link to an article that I know you'll be interested in because of something that we talked about, or a connection to somebody that I know you'd like to meet based on what we talked about. I've just now personalized this to the level of great follow-up, right? Because I took good notes, whether they be mental or written. And when you're having a one-on-one, when you're having a client interaction or a prospect interaction or a new friend interaction, don't be afraid to take notes in some way, shape, or form so that you can follow up appropriately. When you follow up, remove the fluff, okay? Especially if you're doing video. Remove the fluff. Videos, and Jeff actually hits this point in the blog, but I'm just going to hit it again. Video takes up a lot of data, takes up a lot of space. So you want to remove the fluff. You want to get right to the point, short and sweet. Follow up. And then the other thing is stand out and be memorable, right? There's a country song. Let's give them something to talk about, right? If you can stand out and be memorable, people will talk.
Right.
Okay. Now, Jeff has come up with this awesome way of being memorable in your follow-up. And maybe he didn't come up with it, but at least he wrote about it, and that's how we learned about it. And that is through video follow-up. But you made a good point. Why did I think about this? This is so cool. It's so different. But here's the thing. It's not going to be different forever.
Right.
It will be normal after a while. So here's what I challenge you to do. Whether it's using new technology like video, whether it's using old technology like a handwritten note or an email. Maybe it's a text message, maybe it's a LinkedIn message. However you do it, how can you do it in a way that'll make you memorable and make you stand out from all the other follow-up messages that people are getting? That's my challenge to you, to start thinking about that. Because the time and effort that you think it's taking up front is going to save you so much time and effort in finding more clients and better relationships in the future by doing it right up front. What did we learn today, guys? Brian?
Well, I'm going to go back to your follow-up piece, and you sat down, you gave you and Aaron a meeting, and Aaron getting the coffee, but the taking notes part, that's really an important area to think about, because remember in the 3 keys, I said, think about your end result. Okay, well, I've tried this. I've tried it both ways, and I've actually seen which way actually made the most impact.
Yeah.
But if you bring a notebook and you handwrite what is going on psychologically to the person that you're talking to, then they're saying that you really care. I have tried it on the iPad, which I love to put all my notes in Evernote, which we use for this show. But I love to put all my notes in Evernote. and keep everything there, because that works well for me because I have it on my phone or my tablet or on my computer, so it's always there. But to the person that I'm talking
they might
to,
think you're checking email
and I've been in meetings where the person that I've been meeting with has been taking notes on their phone, and they're on their phone and they're engaged, but you have that perception and you just can't get past that thought in your mind. Okay, so what? Yeah. I'm not important enough for you to put the damn phone away and pay attention to me?
You're checking their timeline afterwards to see if they were on they're
posting on Facebook or tweeting. I'm listening to this guy talk and he's rambling and I don't know what but the handwritten, go back to old school. Old school is actually good school in some areas. Have a notebook, and I
do that with my clients too, Brian. I do handwritten notes. I've got a journal for it, and they all end up in Evernote anyhow because I just later scan it in. And
right,
it ends up in my Evernote.
And that's what I've noticed. But that's the one thing I wanted just to I just go back to in your application is that follow-up is important, but part of the follow-up starts in the conversation that you had, because you said you want to do something memorable, right? How many times are they going to, that's going to be memorable, especially today, because today most people are either having a meeting like this and talking and there's no notes being taken, or they're on a device and they're kind of, and you're in your mind, you're thinking, they're tweeting, they're Facebooking, they're on LinkedIn. Now the
engagement's broken on both sides.
Yeah. Now so now you got a handwritten pad and you're actually writing things down that they're saying, and they know that. So psychologically, they're like, man, this guy really cares about me, and that you've already started following up before you follow up.
Let me ask you this. How great do you think it would impact your marriage if you did that? You took a notepad.
Well, that actually may or may not work, Aaron. Coming from someone
I am not going to answer that on camera because I don't know the
I'm the only one not married. So
I don't know the right answer. When I don't know the right answer and it has to do with marriage, I'm not putting it on camera.
What we're going to do is we're going to skip that. Yeah. We're going to come back with another episode with another expert that knows about that, which will not implicate or incriminate us in any way.
So this is Aaron's last show.
And maybe Mike and I's last show. Because our wives may look at this and
because they're hanging out with me.
Yeah, we'll be.
Let's close this out so our listeners can get on with their day. Guys, it's been another great Bam Slam home run where Brian, Aaron, and I break down expert business blogs so that you can better understand and apply the information to your business or life for real results. Get over to the YouTube channel, subscribe there. Thank you to Evernote, keeping us organized and collaborative. Thank you to Jeff Shore and his team for always putting out great content. If you like what you've heard, if you need to connect with Jeff or his team for help with sales, business mindset, sales mindset, or being bold, let Brian, Aaron, or I know. We can make a personal, professional
introduction.
Introduction is the word I'm looking for, so that you can get together with them. Look, if we get it, building a business can be tough. You don't have to do it alone. If you want to gain a real advantage, if you want to 10x your efforts for maximum results, you have to do what other high-performing experts are doing. You have to work on your skill set and your mindset simultaneously so that you can grow into the leader that your business needs. If you're up to the challenge, and I know you are, as an entrepreneur, we're always up for a challenge. Check out our 90-day mental fitness challenges put together by 7 of the top ranked and recognized leadership gurus in the world, and it was designed for real results. Check it out with the link below in the description box. Finally, if you need help with your business, with your fitness, get with one of us. We are here to serve. We leave this Bam Slam today asking you, how can we better help you? For now, we're out.
We're out.